Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Suarez with Broadband Institute, and this is part two of using Google Earth to find line of sight for fixed point wireless internet. So, Nikki, why don't we, start off with you first repeating the questions that you had, and Caleb, feel free to jump in and stop if it starts getting too involved with questions. You want to take things one at a time.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, wait a minute. It looks like we lost Caleb, and now I have to admit him again.
Okay.
Sorry,
So,
an issue with
okay.
my headset there. My bad.
All right. Well, you're back now.
Exactly.
So, Caleb, feel free to jump in as Nikki tries to briefly go through, what she got stuck with.
Yes. So the first question that I had was relating to once you've created a line, for a line of sight, we weren't sure how to select it, if you could select it to change its position, or do you have to create a whole new line at that point?
You can change its position just in the file. So there's a couple of ways to do it.
Okay.
So
So
if
what?
we're starting to actually answer the questions, let's bring up Google Earth so
Yeah.
the viewing audience can actually see this happening.
Okay.
Or
I'm happy
maybe
to bring it up, or
maybe
maybe
we
you
should
should see
have
it.
Nikki drive
Yeah.
because that way we're sure that she knows what to do and is doing it the right way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have Google Earth open. I can screen share. Should I do screen share?
Yes.
Okay. Screen share here. Okay, desktop. Yep. So, should I make it bigger or
As big as possible.
yeah? So I'm just zoomed in right now. I did rewatch, some of our last session, and right now I'm zoomed in on Leslie Park. You know, but I can zoom out or go to a different location.
Well, the
Okay.
question was about the ruler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the place to start is if you go into the Places tab on the left-hand side,
Mhm.
and then you should be able to scroll and see the .kml line, which is the
Great.
Leslie Park Hill. Yeah. Okay. Let's try.
So I
Let me do
clicked
the same
on it.
thing over here.
You're going into orbit.
I clicked on the line,
Right.
and that's what happened. I don't know why it does that. I double.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so
maybe I.
let's click on properties. If you, I think double click maybe on a Mac. Yep, and get info for you.
Mhm.
Yep, and then let's go to altitude first. Okay, relative to ground at 0, that's all pretty good. That's a good place to start. And there is nothing that helps us in the other tabs, it looks like. So,
Should I click OK or?
yeah, that's a good thing I think we can do. So the next way to kind of edit the line is to let's see if you can double click it and do it from within Google Earth, but I think you have to go to your Finder tool. Oh.
So I just double clicked it, zoomed in a bit. I can keep doing that.
That could work. Let's see if
I
something
just
pops up.
clicked a bunch of times, so now I'm getting zoomed into my place marks.
Okay. And I see a trace of a line there. Keep clicking in, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Now we're almost. So that was was a line
Uh-huh.
that Ron and I had done on a separate
Nice.
meeting,
Okay.
trying to do it between the 777 building and the Graduate, but I don't think it's
Right.
that accurate, which is where our question came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next step is to in Finder, so app kind of row bottom corner, outside of Google Earth.
Oh yeah.
Yep, Finder.
Mhm.
And if you have brackets already, you're good to close that.
Okay.
But yeah, if we get a Finder window and then get that LP Hill to
I'm not sure why my Finder window isn't popping up right now.
I'm recording.
It's open, but it's. I guess it's this.
I'm recording.
Yeah.
Please stop the printer.
let's try LP Hill.
LP.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe I named it different. H.
Try this Mac instead of recents maybe. Underneath searching recents. Yep.
Oh, this Mac. Okay.
Yep.
There we
There
go.
we go. Then double click it and see if you can get it to open. Oh no, that just opened it in Google Earth.
And it
Oops.
does the same thing where it zooms way out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that measurement. That's kind of weird. If you could go back to Finder real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. And then double click that LP Hill file and see if you can get it to open.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see what happens if you click yes.
Okay. It still does the thing where it zooms way out.
Okay. Let's try a different measure.
Okay.
Should
So
we
I'm just gonna
start
say-
with creating a new line?
Yep. Let's start there. If you click on Leslie Park, the place mark, you should be able to.
Yeah, it's
Be able to take you there.
zooming in now.
Perfect. Okay.
And I guess I had made up Leslie Park by the soccer field and also Leslie Park Hill over here.
Nice. Okay.
And I think
Both
this,
of those.
I believe that's the same house that you put another pin on, but I'm not
Yes.
100% sure.
Yeah, that looks like the same place. So what I'm gonna do, I think just a good place. Let's start with just drawing another line. So if you go to, I think it's the ruler. Yep, perfect. Just click 2 points.
Where should I click for this?
I think any 2 points should work. That is the theory with this. Maybe don't click on the place mark. Maybe, yeah, click next to it.
And then,
See if that changes.
okay. And then where else should I end the line?
Maybe just cross the golf course. That should work.
Okay, over here?
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay. Then interesting that yours doesn't say save, does it? Or can you highlight, go over save, and oh, it does say save. All right, perfect.
I think I just wasn't selected on it.
Okay. And then we're going to name this just something short, or like I just did LPH2, just because
Okay.
that should make it a little bit easier to find.
Should I click?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then if you double click it again, and then choose Save Place As. Yep. Okay, and then change it from KMZ to KML.
Yep, I remember that now. Okay, and
Yep.
then save.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so that should be an editable file. So if we go back to Finder and do the same kind of thing. Hopefully, when you click it, hopefully it should come back to that line.
Okay.
But then,
So I go to Finder and I search for LPH2.
Yep.
Okay, and click on it.
Yep. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right, that's kind of what I got too. So, all right, we're at least in the same place now, I think.
Okay, cool.
Now let's get to the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, at least it didn't zoom way out to the ocean again.
Yeah, it's an improvement for sure. So now let's go back to Finder and we can get to changing those from just arbitrary points to something that we actually might find interesting.
Okay.
Let me see, because I have my Mac open at the same time here as well. Okay, yeah, so for me, double click works, and then choosing open with, you should be able to, oh, yep. And then I think you should be able to choose brackets.
Yep.
Okay,
It's opening.
nice, nice.
In its own time.
Yeah. Sometimes they take a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, perfect. That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
so-
Caleb, if we want to get
Yes.
colors in here, it's already a .kml, so I guess bracket is not. I know if we save as .php, for example, you'll see the different colors for the different types of variables or functions, things.
Yeah, I think there are, at least in my file, it's interesting. Oh, I think I see it there. I think there is some color modification that you can do. For me, it's about line 13, but on your screen it looks like line 17 mentions line style. So I'm not sure.
Oh,
I haven't looked at
that's
those
not what I
keys.
meant. That's not
Oh,
what I meant.
okay.
I meant in code editors, you would see comments
Right.
appearing different than code, and you would see functions appearing different than variable names. Or
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't
So
want
it's
to detract from the time.
I know what you mean though, because I can see like I have Windows, so I'm using Notepad++, and it's a little bit easier to read because the tags are in blue, the
Yeah.
variables are in black. Yeah, so
I'll Google the question another time.
okay. But the things we care about again are the coordinates. I think if we have, like, for example, I have the Leslie Park Field place mark open at the moment. So that's one that we can use. Or we can also just use our cursor in Google Earth and pick some coordinates.
Should I go back to Google Earth?
Yeah, that's probably a good step. Let's do this Arrowwood 1 location real quick. That might be a good place to do.
So right click on that.
Yeah, if you click on it, let's see. I thought there was a way. Okay, let me see. It might, place marks might already be saved in your system. So that might be another thing where you can go to Finder and search Arrowwood 1, and it
Okay.
should come up, I think.
Let me try that way.
Yeah.
It's not popping up.
Okay.
Why?
So the other way to do it is we can actually just zoom in on the place mark. And I think it's probably kind of like a scroll action kind of thing. Oh, wow. Google Earth freaked out for me.
Is that zoomed in enough?
Yeah. And all you want to do is somehow I ended up in Street View mode. I didn't know you could do that. So you just want to kind of zoom in on the roof of that building and place your cursor over the kind of top of the roof where that place mark is. So for me, it reads 42, 18, 32, 40, which is pretty close to what you have.
If I go right over the place mark, it's 42, 18, 32, 19. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that should be fine. Actually, my only concern now is that I'm not sure. Yeah, because it looks like the coordinates don't do hours, minutes, seconds. They're just as a decimal.
Now, Caleb, how do you know that the pin is actually on the roof versus 3 meters in the air?
So the way to check that would be to click on the arrowhead or Arrowwood 1 place mark in the Places tab. Get info, and then click altitude. So that says 8 meters relative to the ground. And another way that you can kind of just optically do it is like if you kind of do I think it's, for me, it's, I have a mouse, so it's clicking the mouse wheel button and kind of pivoting around. I'm trying to think what that might be on Mac.
Is it the shift and click?
Yeah, that looks right about right. If you zoom in close enough, you can kind of see just about how high it is off of the building.
So you look at it at an angle, and then you can tell if it's up too high or not.
Yeah, that's generally the method that I've been using.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's not always intuitive, unfortunately.
Oh, there we go. It's a little bit up in the air.
It's a little bit up in the air. Should I lower that to 6 meters maybe, or?
Well, I'll try it.
I think it's the bottom of the place mark that is where it is. But I think, if it's plus or minus 1 meter, it should more or less be something that's achievable.
Okay. Just leave it as it is for now.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think mine's
Yeah, well, I think
as well.
if we were doing a real plan, I would want to err on the side of thinking that the roof is lower.
Okay, so 6 meters then maybe?
Yep, switch to the view tab and you should see it move.
The view tab?
In the place mark next to.
I see.
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that looks closer. No.
Yep.
Is that good then?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if you click OK and then double click on the place mark again and hit Save As, this is probably going to be the Save Place As,
Huh?
and just save. There's probably a very quick way to get the GPS coordinates, but this is the way that I know well at this point. And then go into Finder, and that point should be there now. Yep, perfect.
Yep.
And then do the same kind of open with brackets if you can. Yep. Okay. And then we're just going to grab the longitude, latitude, and altitude.
Which are, you're in the 30s, the 36 it looks like, or? line?
Yes. Yeah, for me it's 36 is the first
Yep.
first line. You don't need the longitude tag, you just need the numbers, so the negative 83 to 32 is probably what you need. And we're going to have to do this kind of one at a time, which is maybe not the most convenient, but
Should I just copy that now?
yep, copy it, and then go to the LPH2 file.
So going back to Googler?
Nope, in brackets.
In
It should,
Upper left.
Yep.
No.
In,
In the blank area.
if you go back to the working window.
Get out of the top menu.
Okay, sorry.
Get out of the top menu. Yeah, now in the blank area, just look up.
Oh, LPH. Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yep. No worries. And then paste over that first coordinate.
The whole thing. Okay.
Nope, just to the 313 is probably the thing that you want.
Oh, just the first coordinate before
Yep.
the comma.
But make sure that there's not a double negative if you paste that. So just paste it and see if there's a double negative.
And there is, so I'll delete one of them, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. I just realized the coordinates are in line 48. You can copy the whole row in the Arrowwood 1 file.
Okay.
So,
Line
you scroll down a bit. I think it should. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Should
So
I
we can just
recopy
Yep.
it? Okay.
we can just copy over it. It should be fine. Make sure you get that last character too.
Oh, the 6.
Yep, because that's the height. So
Okay.
copy.
To LPH. Okay.
Yep, and just copy over that first line.
The whole first line. Okay.
Yep. Then get rid of the double negative.
Yep.
Perfect. And then I have the 777 building up, so I'm just going to copy and paste that into chat real quick. Hopefully that should make it easy. And then that line you should be able to copy and paste over.
And where am I pasting that over?
That's just the second line of coordinates there. Yep.
Right here. Okay.
Yep. Make sure you don't have double negative. Hit save.
File save.
Just
Okay.
And then probably the fastest way to view that is to go back to Finder. And then LPH2. Yep. And then just click on that normally. And hopefully, and then hit yes. Should do the right thing. Nice. Okay.
So that's the line we just made.
Yep, that looks like it.
That does seem like a very accurate way to draw a line as opposed to just picking random spots and hoping it's on point.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I-
now we should be able to easily tell if there's a branch in the way or a building.
Yeah, there is another tool that's actually helpful to add to that line because I'm noticing, at least mine doesn't have it right now. So if you go into Google Earth, chat really messed me up here. Yeah, and then click on double click on the LPH2 line. Right click. Yep. Just
Okay.
gonna try and get, I think it's get info now. Properties, if you're on Windows, go to altitude. And then
Relative to ground.
relative to ground and extend path to ground.
Is it okay now?
Yep.
Okay.
And now, if you kind of zoom in around the line and kind of do that shift click to change your perspective a bit. Yeah, you can kind of see that there's the shadow and that the
Yeah.
line kind of, shows that's a little bit easier to see now what the line's above versus what it's, kind of just going straight through.
Yep.
Nice.
That's our other line that was not accurate. You can even see it stops way before the building. The other line.
Right. It's a, kind of a difficult thing to get right. I think the good thing about place marks is it's maybe not as quick as I would like it to be, but place marks means you can really put that location and see where it is,
Exactly.
and get a good idea of, okay, is this on the building, off the building, etc.
So, Nikki,
Yeah, so the next question, if we're ready for that, so I think we kind of covered it. It was, how do you effectively make a new line of sight without zooming in? The problem that we were having was accurate placement of the end of the line on the rooftop of the building, where a second antenna will be placed to receive a signal from the 7.7 building source. Okay, so the one thing that I don't think we really went into is how to edit the line after it's been placed. Or did we kind of cover that?
I think so. The way to really edit the line is using the brackets file and the
Okay,
CAN
so what we just did.
Yeah, that is the best way that I found to edit the line, and it's a little bit clunky because it's you're editing just code, right, which is just weird to look at, instead of doing something that's a little bit more intuitive with changing maybe where the line moves. But
That's the best way. Okay.
yeah, and unfortunately, I wish there was a feature where you could just connect the line between two place marks, and that would make this process literally 10 times faster.
So much faster, yeah.
Yeah, there's probably a plugin that does that, but if not, I think someone could probably, I might write a script in my free time if I find any, and put one together, because that would be a pretty useful tool. But
For sure.
yeah.
Okay. And then the last question that we had, would you be able to share some of your pins with another Google Pro user so they don't have to recreate all of the common locations? I think that was one of Ron's questions too from last time.
yep.
Yeah, since I think these are just files, as long as you have, I think it's pretty reasonable here. I can actually just test it out. Nikki, I will use you as the test.
Okay.
I will just try and send one of these KML files to you, and if you can open it, hopefully that means that they're pretty exportable.
Okay.
And usable. Now I just searched it and clicked it and opened it, and it just went to Google Earth. But
And you did that in Finder?
yeah.
Okay.
So I think the place marks and line files are just files that can be shared, which is another kind of advantage of using Google Earth, is you hopefully don't have to recreate a lot of this, and you can agree okay, is this a realistic location, and multiple people can look at it and say, all right, this is the one true 777 location that we're using, right, and basing our judgments off of.
And it's helpful because, even if people made their own and they were fairly accurate, it would be hard to always have them on the exact same spot on the building. So sharing the file would be a good way to do, ensure that you're all spot.
So, any any last things that we want to cover for the recording?
Not that I can think
All right, I'm going to stop the recording now.